In 1979, Alex Cooper, an architect who's an old friend of mine, was hired by the Urban Design Corporation and the Battery Park City Authority, which had been set up by New York City, to develop a very large landfill in the Hudson River that is about 97 acres here, right on the west side of Lower Manhattan near the Battery. And as he was working on getting started, he asked our firm to join them to work on the open space plan and to try and think of all the spaces that would come as a result of that. As we began work, we tried to think, what should we do? It didn't want to be a completely radical new thing, but it also had to be fresh. It had to be fresh, it had to give access, it had to be open and connected to the city, and it needed to be feel like more of New York. Then Bob Hanna and I, with Alex, decided that we would do an esplanade, a pedestrian walk the entire length of the perimeter of Battery Park City and keep it open and connect it back through some parks that feed back through, like Rector Park and things like that. And then there would be places, and each place would have some local character. One of the things we also realized was that that there was a vocabulary of furniture in the city of New York that had been evolved over the decades and generations, and some of it was really quintessential to New York. I took it upon myself as a designer to try and say, no, this is New York, it feels like New York, you want to be here. And so we used the bee pole from Central Park from the Olmsted firm. I used a railing, modified it considerably, that we found up at Carl Schurz Park on the Hudson, and a couple of other things. There's the World's Fair bench from the 1939, from the Moses era, and then there's an adaptation of the Olmsted bench from Central Park. I could have done something different. I said, but that should be the armature, and on that armature, other people should come now and do other things, and they have. The park was built out, Battery Park City was built out from 1979 till about 2 years ago. They're just finishing it up here. And we've been working off and on bits and pieces. We did that first phase, we did the schematics for Rector Park. Then other people worked in North Cove. A wonderful artist, architect, landscape architect combination worked on South Cove. Some friends of ours from Boston did the North End. Paul Friedberg did a garden. Lots of people worked here on this armature that we did. That's what planning is really about, landscape planning.